Hey, I want to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Ordu on the line, and he is CEO over at the Magic Penthouse. Sin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
Today is a very special reunion 2020 episode, everybody. So this is Ordu, and this is his second time back. Why? Because I couldn't get enough of talking to this guy the first time around, so I had to bring him back. Promised you I was going to, next time I go to Chicago, I'm headed to the Magic Penthouse, Sin, but I haven't been out there yet. They don't let me out of the studio. We're going to have to talk to the other co-founder, Chirag, and say, when do I get a vacation? They won't let me, Sin.
When you make it, let me know. We'll hook you up. We'll make you the most magical night you've ever had.
So I don't want to assume that everybody caught the first episode. So let's just start with tell the audience a little bit more about the Magic Penthouse.
Definitely. So the Magic Penthouse is a passion project that started in 2016. And it's really bringing magic into the 21st century. That's our goal. So making magic sexy. And we're talking about the art of magic, right? We're not talking about like Magic the Gathering or the game or whatever. No, we're talking the performance art. So we do once a month. Actually, we're kind of updating that to almost 2 times a month sometimes now. We do public events where we sell 80 tickets now. And that's a luxury experience in Chicago, only in Chicago available right now, which means for those 80 people who attend, we have top shelf open bar, we have live music, catered appetizers, and then we have 5 magicians performing at like a cocktail hour feeling party in a very elegant setting. It's at a luxury hotel downtown Chicago. And in those 3 hours where the event takes place, we'll take you on a tour in magic. So there will be, close-up performances right in your hand as you're drinking a cocktail. There might be a stage performance. We'll be going through multiple rooms. We actually have a speakeasy now that we select special people to that they would never expect that where that happens. We're adding a second speakeasy, which isn't official yet, so I probably shouldn't have said that. So we have a whole bunch of stuff going on just to make sure that you have or whoever attends that event has the most magical experience yet. And besides those monthly events that we do for the public, we do corporate events all over the country. So we pick and choose the best magicians in the industry and then have them fly to your holiday party, client appreciation event, all these things, and have perform close up our stage magic right there.
Man, that's awesome. And so we're going into 2020. What are the goals? You got some events coming up. I mean, come on, tell us a little bit more. I know you got some other things going on.
For sure. So 2019 was overwhelmingly successful. We overshot our goals. So for 2020, we have big goals. Again, we want to double in size, which just means more gigs, more private events, a little bit more public events, and also blow them out. So every event is different, which also means, I just said it, we're adding a second speakeasy. We're adding more magicians. I just signed a couple of new magicians for our staff, that we manage and guide in the right direction. And this year, we had just last weekend, our first event of the year, January 17th, we're sold out. February 14th, we got a Valentine's Day special that's sold out. We got one coming up in a week. We got, so it's really busy because people have heard about us, mainly because of your podcast, obviously, Adam. So
we're growing. For us in 2020, we are growing in Chicago. 13% of downloads are now coming from Chicago. Go figure.
That's probably because of our conversation back in
September
or October.
Thinking, I was like, they all heard. It was like this thing that happened. I'm like, they knew.
So we got all of that going on. And in the summer, because, most people don't want to have like an elegant night out. In the summer, you want to spend some time outside. We have a couple of interesting things in the works right now that I can't spill yet because it's not 100%. But if it works out, it's going to be a couple of summer special events that might take it even to the next level. So it's going to be all outside Magic combined with some other entertainment. And I guess I got to talk to you again when the summer comes closer, and then I'll spill the beans on that.
I'll tell you, Lakeshore Drive in the spring after everybody's been cooped up for the whole, like, frigid winter in Chicago. It's one of the most magical places on earth, in my opinion. I love it.
You know it. And the people are just so excited about it. I think you're in California.
Yeah,
no one is excited about the sun anymore. In Chicago, people are, like, going crazy.
But I'm from Michigan, so I remember being, like, and cooped up in it's all dark, so early, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out, and you're in, like, then you have water. It's just a magical place. Everybody's so nice and happy because they've been so miserable for months.
And now imagine you add some mind-blowing magic to the sunshine, to a good cocktail,
That's what I was thinking. I don't want to hear, no, we're trying to do this. You make it happen, Sin.
We'll make it happen. I just can't make it official yet, but I'm excited. I can tell you this summer is going to be magical in Chicago.
Man, that's exciting. Well, that's great, and I love to hear it. I love to hear the business is growing. I love to hear that the events are growing, the venues. If somebody's listening to this and they're let's go a little bit more into your product side. So I know you do a lot of corporate stuff too. Let's talk a little bit more about that for that 13% of the downloads that are happening in Chicago today.
Or even the ones that are across the country, because corporate events are really across the country. We even have a gig coming up in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
So our corporate gigs, we have 3 different booking options there to kind of fit whatever people need. The smallest one, obviously, being if someone has just a small social gathering or just wants like an hour entertainment at their corporate event, and we'll just have a magician come out and perform close up or on stage. That's the traditional way how magicians have been performing for decades. The more interesting part is when you book an off-site Magic Penthouse experience where we send at least 3 magicians for 3 hours, and we pretty much create a Magic Penthouse at your venue, wherever you are. So we bring the entertainment, we create the flow with you, we might create a speakeasy with you, and have different magicians with different styles come out and perform for whatever you need us to do. And then the third option is you just say, or the corporate client says, we just want the normal Magic Penthouse experience at the hotel that we're currently at, and then we just completely privately book it out, and everyone who does that knows it's going to be a success because they've experienced it before, just like it would be. What makes all these gigs, these corporate gigs, so special is that we really customize our experience to our clients. And I know that's something that a lot of people say, like, oh, we're client specific, but we really mean it, which means we create magic tricks around their products, their slogans, their events, and because we have such professional and incredible magicians, sometimes the tricks with their product turns out to be better than any original trick ever done before. So that's really the most mind-blowing. When, you have someone, we had a client event where someone from Mill, of course, was there, and he just yelled out, make a Miller appear, and boom, the magician makes a Miller appear out of nowhere, and then people just freak out. It's like, what the hell? Is this a real magician?
That's awesome. I'm glad you gave me an example, because I was thinking in my head, am I going to put this guy on the spot if I say, give me an example? He's like, no, I can't tell any of my magician's tricks.
No. It can be literally anything. That's the cool thing. We, for corporate clients like that, we spitball ideas with the organizer, and we say, what would be cool? I think I mentioned on it when we talked last, when we did magic for Dunkin' Donuts. It was all about coffee magic. Or we're having, I think Justin Breen too, a good friend of mine. We're having an event with him, and he has a book coming up. He wrote his first book release. So we're like, why don't we do a trick with your book that incentivizes the people to actually read the book, to get into it, to mention it. So anything like that. Just imagine someone grabs a book from Justin, goes to any page at any time, just looks at a word, and our mind reader will be able to tell you which word you're reading right now, which word you're thinking of.
Oh man, that's exciting! And I saw that post for Justin that you're going to be doing an event together, and I was like, oh man, you guys are having all the fun over there. It's okay. I'm going to come on to you. So, Sin, if somebody is listening to this right now and they're either in the corporate space or maybe they're just visiting Chicago or they live in Chicago, one of the two, and they can see your actual the hotel experience. What's the best way for them to reach out and to learn more about the Magic Penthouse experience?
The easiest way to get an objective picture of it is just Google Magic Penthouse. We're one of a kind, so definitely all of our reviews and websites will show up. Our website is magicpenthouse.com, so that's easy to remember. But I highly recommend people to just kind of first check out what people say about us, maybe check out a couple of TV interviews or radio podcasts to get a better feel for it. We also have videos online that give you an impression of the magic style that our performers have. So anything like that will serve us well, because we're actually currently, I think, ranked number 4 on TripAdvisor in Chicago. And I think the reviews really speak for itself. Since we don't invest anything in advertisement or anything like that, it's all word of mouth.
Man, that's really exciting. I love it, and I love to hear great things coming out of you in 2020, and excited for our reunion in 2021 to see what's going on then. Sin, I really appreciate you coming back on the show and sharing more about all the great work you're doing over at Magic Penthouse to make magical experiences for your clients. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Sin, thanks again for coming back on the show.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, Adam.